KOD Nation, Yankee Universe. What is good, my guys? We are here, episode number 2 of the Yankees Morning Brew. My guy, Delano Still Jr. What is good, DSJ? I see you in the chat. I totally appreciate you. But Yankees Universe, we are here. It is day 2, Tuesday, May 10th, 11:01 a.m. Hope all is doing well. Hope you guys is out there with your coffee, starting your day off fresh and great with another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Oh, I need that. Gotta have that sweet coffee in the morning, just to perk up the day. But yeah, shout out to everybody who tuned in yesterday. Totally appreciate you guys. The Fight Night Crew, guys, was on in the evening at 8 p.m. If you guys haven't checked it out, and the UFC fans, check out the Fight Night Crew. They got some dope stuff. I tuned in myself, was able to catch them while they was on. So if you guys haven't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we are here, man. Welcome to another episode of Yankees Morning Brew. I want to start off first and foremost by bringing up the guy himself, the one and only Nestor Cortez Jr., the pride of Hialeah, the pride of Cuba. My guy, Nestor, Nasty Nestor. Nestor Cortez makes it cool to be somebody who's 5'10", 5'11", myself. A little tummy in the shirt. Nestor Cortez, he made us cool again. But Nestor Cortez has shown that his style of pitching is not a fluke. This is not a fluke. If Nestor continues the way he's continuing, he's going to make a push for the All-Star game, and he's going to make a push for a nominee for the Cy Young for this season. He had a tough outing last time against the Toronto Blue Jays. I was a little bit shaky on it. I was a little bit scared, thinking that, people figured him out. DSJ, I appreciate your words again. He says, the way the season has been feeling so far, I want a new World Series, Subway Series, Yankees versus Mets. Let me highlight that. My man, DSJ, if that was to happen, I will 100% be down for that. And Uncle Freezy is a diehard Mets fan, so he'll be with that 100%. But I said it yesterday. Baseball in New York City is good when you have both the Yankees and the Mets having that same inner city rivalry. When both teams are doing good, it's good for baseball. It's good for that competitiveness of the city. Yesterday after the first video was on, I had a friend of mine who's a diehard Met fan. Shout out to my guy John, Yanni. He hit me up, was like, this is still a Mets city. My man, no, it's not. The Yankees still have a better winning percentage than the Mets. I'm not trying to start anything, but hey, it's all love at the end of the day. But with Nasty Nestor came out strong. Put some notes here, right here. Let me get the notes out. Cortez took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. He is the first Yankee pitcher this season to pitch into the 8th inning. I pointed it out yesterday that Garrett Cole was the first time that a Yankees pitcher pitched into the 7th inning and got it out. Now, back-to-back, Nestor Cortez pitches into the 8th inning and gets it out. And it was a career high with innings. Nestor Cortez, the Yankees are stretching him out, and they're taking their time when it comes to stretching him out, getting him to where he needs to be stamina-wise to be a starting pitcher for the rest of the season. I'll bring that up later on, but Cortez struck out 11 batters. He pitched fast, and he kept hitters off balance, and that's what Nasty Nestor does. I like to call him the lefty El Duque, being that he's from Cuba, just like Orlando Hernandez was. But the way that he switches his arm angles, the way that he keeps batters off balance, if you're a major league hitter, this is a pitcher that you don't want to face. I seen other Yankee content creators bringing it up that is Nasty Nestor a pitcher for the postseason. And, according to them, speaking to some scouts, if, he's the perfect pitcher to put in between a Garrett Cole and Luis Severino. Garrett Cole pitches 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. So does Severino. Having Nestor Cortez in the middle of the two is going to keep the hitters off balance, especially if we're in a three-game series early on, first round, second round, because, I don't think the Yankees will make the wild card, but they switched up the wild card this season. I think it's this season. If I'm incorrect, please correct me in the comment section. But I think that they switched it that this year the wild card series will be 3 games, best out of 3, instead of just a one game wild card. But yeah, Nasty Nestor, he showed up. Let's say Nasty Nesta said, get him out of here. That is a fact, DSJ. Nasty Nesta said, get him out of here. And hey, I got to take my hat off to Nestor Cortez. Salute Nestor Cortez. Keep this up for the rest of the season. But Nestor was good. Hopefully Nestor, like I said, he can continue what he's done early in this season. Build up his stamina as he's doing. And I want to see Nestor Cortez in the All-Star game. Like, if we could get Nestor Cortez in the All-Star game with all the antics that he does on the mound, whether it's moving his leg 20 different times, stepping on, stepping off, stepping on, stepping on, stepping off, different arm angles, showcasing that on a national stage at an All-Star game, it's going to be different. And like I said, this is the type of energy that baseball needs. Nasty Nestor, he is basically a wiffle ball pitcher who's in the major leagues. And again, I don't like to bring this up after I talk so great and so highly of my man Nestor Cortez. I'm bring this down, but the Yankees offense, Aaron Judge was struggling. Anthony Rizzo struggled. Jigga Man, if you can, my apologies. I know you backstage. If you could just load up the Aaron Judge one, because I got two Rizzos here. My apologies. But with the offense struggling, 4 games in a row that the Yankees offense struggled. We got Aaron Judge right here. Aaron Judge yesterday, he showed his frustration. I pointed it out yesterday. Again, appreciate you, Jigga Man, my man, Pots and Pans. I pointed it out yesterday. Aaron Judge, with that lower bottom half of the strike zone, the umpires are just calling strikes on him left and right, and you saw he was visibly upset yesterday with the umpires in the 5th inning. It was in the 5th inning, bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees had the bases loaded. Aaron Judge comes up to bat, and it was a 1-0 count. The umpire called it a strike. The count went to 1-1, and you saw Aaron Judge visibly upset, and he struck out during that at bat. It's easy to say that, he should have put the ball in play. He should have got it out the infield, lifted it into the air. But when you're a hitter who's 6'7", 6'8", like Aaron Judge is, and in the back of your mind all game, and since you guys came back playing, and all season so far, that the umpire is going to call that bottom strike zone strike on you. So you're trying to protect on that. It was upsetting that he struck out at that point, but hey, you're not going to hit over 600 in a major league season. That's just reality. But the offense struggled again. And Sweeney Murdy pointed it out. Within the past 4 games that the Yankees played, the Yankees have scored 4 runs. He said that normally the bad teams during those stretches go 0-4. The Yankees are 2-2. I wish they was 3-1 within the last 4 games, but hey, I'm not going to be too greedy. But they were 2-2 these last 4 games, only scoring 4 runs. Our team is built on our pitching, right? Our team is built on our starting pitching and especially our bullpen. The way that the Yankees front office, that development team down to the minor leagues has been able to cultivate and create relievers out of starting pitchers, it's something that we didn't see before when it comes to the Yankees. Like, I remember growing up in the mid-2000s watching the Yankees when we had Gary Sheffield, Hideki Matsui, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, the best of the best. But our pitching was trash. Our bullpen, besides Mariano Rivera, was trash. We had a couple good years from Tom Gordon, but, after he got knocked around in the 2004 ALCS by the Red Sox, he was just never the same pitcher he was before that happened. So in the mid-2000s, our Achilles heels for the Yankees was our starting pitching and bullpen. It seems like it's a whole 180 right now in the 2020s, because our strongest part of our team is our starting pitching and is our bullpen. When you could throw out guys like, even though Michael King, he blew up the last game, but when you throw out Michael King, when you could throw out Clay Holmes, when you could throw out Castro, when you could throw out Aroldis Chapman, when you could throw out all these bullpen arms, and Chad Green, when you could throw out all these bullpen arms, and when you look at the 4 pitchers that I just named, besides Aroldis Chapman, Chad Green could be a closer on any other team in the majors. Clay Holmes could be a closer on almost any other team in the majors. So to have that in our bullpen It's pretty special. And then when you look at Michael King, and I said it, I apologize for repeating it, but Michael King, he did have a shaky outing, his last outing, a couple days ago. But Michael King is that type of pitcher that it's giving me feelings of Phil Hughes in 2009. Phil Hughes, we all know, was a starter, but in 2009, the Yankees used him exclusively out of the bullpen when he was coming back from injury late in the season and going into the playoffs, and he was a deciding factor and a big piece in our playoff push and our World Series push in 2009. So Michael King and our bullpen being able to pitch multiple innings, it's giving me that Phil Hughes feeling that we had in 2009. So hopefully that's a good foreshadowing. But then my man, Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo has put to bed a lot of whispers that Yankee fans wanted the Yankees to go out there and get a Matt Olson, or trade with San Diego for their first baseman. So I relax. Anthony Rizzo has done a fine job. He's a platinum Gold Glover. You seen it the other day when you had the ball bounce off for the first base bag, and he was able to make that shifty play. So Anthony Rizzo is special. He's a clutch hitter. We saw it yesterday. Before his hit that he got, he came into that at bat 2 for his last 30. 2 for your last 30. In the back of your head, you're like, you just want to get a hit. You just want to get a hit. You just want to get a hit. And he got the hit when it counted. He got the hit when it counted. I'm just bring up the lineups real quick. Starting off with the Yankees lineup. We got DJ LeMahieu, went 0 for 2. Aaron Judge, 1 for 3. You got Anthony Rizzo, 1 for 4. That one was the game-winning go-ahead run. Stanton, 0 for 4. And something very interesting, Josh Donaldson was 1 for 3. Now, it's kind of hard to tell. Hold on, where did it go just now? It's kind of hard to tell that Josh Donaldson has a 10-game hitting streak with the way that he's been hitting so far. Oh, am I frozen? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. My apologies. Like I was saying, the Yankees lineup yesterday, Josh Donaldson, he was 1 for 3 yesterday. And it's kind of weird that Josh Donaldson, has a 10-game hitting streak, and it's kind of hard to tell with the numbers that he's putting up. But hey, a 10-game hitting streak is a 10-game hitting streak. Second base, Gleyber Torres was 0 for 3 after having that game-winning hit. He has gone hitless since that game-winning hit. Joey Gallo had a nice single and a walk, yesterday. Joey Gallo is a type of play that I want to see Joey Gallo do good. If Joey Gallo can just figure it out and stop trying to hit 10-run home runs, he could probably be a decent season. IKF has gone hitless again. And Jose Trevino had another hit today. The day before, he had a bloop single in the ninth. So, hey, if Jose Trevino could get a couple singles here and there, just to, pick up that offense at the bottom half of the lineup, I'll be happy for it. But overall, for the pitching staff, Nasty Nestor, I said it again, and I'm going to say it one more time. He went 7 in the third. He gave up that one hit in the 8th inning to break up the no-hitter. 0 runs. He did have 4 walks, which it's pretty suspect when it comes to Cortez. He doesn't like to give up walks on the season, and his 4 starts, he has 7 walks. So compounding with these 4, 11 walks for the season. That's pretty good, and 11 strikeouts. Like I said, his career high is 12. He already had that this season, and his prior career high was 11. So Nasty Nessa is showing us that he has it. Then down to Clay Holmes, who has been the bright spot ever since coming over from Pittsburgh. I don't know what it is with Yankees or Matt Blake, the Yankees pitching coach, getting these reclamation projects and making them good. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. But Clay Holmes, he pitched 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. But then we had the guy, Aroldis Chapman. Chapman came in, he pitched the inning, he got 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and a strike and no strikeouts. But I was a bit scared when Chapman came in because hey, face it, Chapman has been shaky for us sometimes during the season and especially in the playoffs. But with Chapman not pitching in 7 days, I was a bit worried that he was going to be wild and just walk everybody. But no, he got 2 quick outs, 1-2 quick outs. And then, the third batter got on, but then he was able to endorse a quick ground out. So I was happy with what I got from Chapman. I was really happy with what I got from Chapman. That last fly out to Joey Gallo was a bit scary. I'm not thinking that Joey was going to track it down, but the New York City wind, the weather has been really, really bad these last few games. So, Joey Gallo being able to just get it and settle underneath it and get it into his glove was, whew, took a lot of stress away. Now let's go to the Rangers lineup. The Rangers lineup yesterday. Let's see, let me add it right here. Same thing. Marcus Semien, 0 for 4. Adonis Garcia, 0 for 4 as well. Corey Seager, 0 for 3. So when your top 3 hitters go 0 for, it's kind of tough, especially when someone's pitching a no-hitter. But the only hit that they were able to choke up was the catcher, Heim, and the bottom center fielder, the 9th batter, E. White, who was 1 for 2. But John Gray, if you guys remember, John Gray was a top pitching prospect for the Colorado Rockies. It's tough, when you have to come from Colorado someplace else. Normally, when a pitcher leaves Colorado, his numbers they shoot up. This year, he had a 7 ERA, but in this start against the Yankees, he was dominant. The Texas Rangers have the worst pitching in the American League. So it's a kind of a head scratcher when you see the Yankees only able to muster up 4 runs on the season in these past 4 games. Especially when you got the Rangers who are struggling like just struggling. So am I frozen again? Hopefully. Yeah, when the Texas Rangers, when they have those type of pitchers coming out the bullpen, you're neutralizing Gallo off rip. Anthony Rizzo, he hit left-hand batters pretty well, but you've seen it in the bottom half of the 5th inning when the bases were loaded with 2 outs. He struck out looking against Burke. So that's something that the Yankees just have to pick up now for the rest of the season. Just shake it off tonight against the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, as long, I'm not sure if we see Alex Manoah in this series, but as long as we don't see Alex Manoah, we should be good. We should be really good as long as we don't see Manoah. Manoah really, he gives us a hard time. And hey, he's a kid from New York, or the New York area, I should say. So hey, I like it. He has that New York energy. So I'm a big fan of Alex Manoah. But when you look at this yesterday's game, and I'm gonna bring it up again, the umpires. It's becoming to be a continuing issue, especially when you have Aaron Judge. I appreciate Aaron Boone of last week when he came out defending Aaron Judge, but it's becoming to become a problem when you have Aaron Judge, who was visibly upset yesterday. Hopefully the game, I'll have the highlights right here, but when you have Aaron Judge, who was visibly upset yesterday with the way that the was calling the game, it's a head scratcher, man. We MLB really needs to fix this problem. We seen it last week as well with Madison Bumgarner. He had a problem with one of the umpires, and as he was walking off the field, you know how the umpires nowadays, they're checking, see if a pitcher has sticky substance on his hand. You had an umpire massaging Madison's Bumgarner's hand for about like 5 minutes until Bumgarner made eye contact with him, and he was antagonizing him in order to get thrown out. And I just think that's a problem that Major League Baseball has to fix. I've been following that situation. I haven't heard an outcome, or if Major League Baseball will punish the umpire for his actions. So hopefully that clicks out. I got a note here, non-baseball related. I just want to say this: as fans of sports, whether you're a baseball fan, whether you're a basketball fan, NFL fan, hockey fan in general, please do better. There was a situation with Chris Paul that happened in the playoffs. I'm not going to get into it, but as fans, we need to do better. We cannot represent our teams or our fandom that way. You make it look bad for other fans like myself and everybody who actually loves to enjoy the game. So as fans, let's just do better and just let's move on and let's have fun. If you're out at a game and you spend so much money for front row seats or real close seats, and you do that, it's just a waste of money. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And you don't want the great moment that happened in Toronto with Aaron Judge and that fan be ruined by some other fan doing something that's not on cue. But I digress. But beyond that, whew, yesterday's game was a nail biter. Last year when it came to one-run games, the Yankees were under 500. When it came to run games, or if the game is tied after the eighth inning, the Yankees were under 500. This season so far is a whole flip. It's a whole 180. The Yankees are 6 games over 500 in those close games. We have outscored our opponent. I think it's a run differential of 43 43 is the run differential, just behind the LA Dodgers, who have a 64 run differential. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. With on May 10th, like I said yesterday, the way that the Yankees started the season, man. With the way that the Yankees started the season, I would not think that we would be in this position, 20-8, having the best winning percentage in all of baseball, right behind the Dodgers, because I think the Dodgers have 21 wins, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, with the season going as it is, we may need to tweak here or there. We may need to get another starting pitcher. Look, as you can see, Nestor Cortez leaving after his no-hitter. No-hit bid was broken up in the 8th inning. But yeah, if you can add to this team, when you have, hold on, this is the 5th inning that I was talking about. Here it is. Boom. And you can see Aaron Judge visibly upset with that. He shrugs it off. The umpire is looking at him. You have Aaron Boone going back and forth. This is what we need to see from Aaron Boone. As long as Booney is protecting our players, we good. But then Judge strikes out. Having to worry about that pitch in the back of your head, it just messes with you. It just messes with a batter. And then Anthony Rizzo right here strikes out. It just messes with a batter. But like I was saying, with the season as it's going right now, if you guys didn't hear, rumors has it that the Cincinnati Reds, they're starting their fire sale. I feel bad if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, especially when you have the GM being interviewed and asking, "Oh, if you're a Reds fan, where you gonna go?" All you have to do is support this team. I don't support that type of rhetoric from an organization or front office. You're supposed to put out a winning product for your fans at all costs by any means necessary. But the Cincinnati Reds are starting their fire sale. Luis Castillo is a player that always intrigued me. He was always a player that I had on my radar. Always a player that I wanted the Yankees to make a run at, whether it was the beginning of the season, whether it was the trade deadline. So with what's going on in Cincinnati and seeing them about to unload almost everyone they have when it comes to Eugenio Suarez at third base, when it comes to the two pitchers, Luis Castillo, when it comes to their bullpen. Amir Garrett was already let go last year or the year before. I'm not too sure. But Cincinnati they have some rebuilding to do. I want to shout out my guy, Cosmic Jerry, in the chat. I appreciate you. He got his coffee cup. Hey, hope everybody's drinking a nice coffee. Like I said, I'm a Bustelo guy. Shout out to Bustelo. Hopefully we can get some free bags one of these days. But yeah, Nasty Nestor being praised as he's leaving. But then Clay Holmes comes in and deuces the quick double play. 1, 2, 3 double play. Easy peasy lemon squeezy to get us out that inning, to get us out that jam. Yeah. And if it isn't me, it's been really weird seeing the Yankees play these many games in a row, all in the daytime, all in the daytime. And it's kind of weird because the game starts off beautiful, but as you get to the 7th or 8th inning, it gets windy and it gets really, really chilly. So hopefully tonight when they face the Blue Jays, right now it's beautiful outside of New York City, but that could switch on the tap of a dime. And right here, this right here, that right there is a defensive blunder. Let me rewind that. Let me rewind that. You see, if you're the third base coach or whoever's in charge of the defensive alignment when it comes to the Texas Rangers, you got to know Anthony Rizzo goes the opposite way, especially when he has 2 strikes. As you see, Judge just leaks one through the infield, gets it past the infielder. And then Anthony Rizzo, you have to know the scouting report. He goes opposite field. It's all the time, especially with 2 strikes, 0-2. Look at all this real estate right here. All that real estate. Judge was running. He was huffing and puffing coming around the bases. But then Anthony Rizzo gets caught up in the rundown. I don't mind getting caught up in the rundown, especially when you let the runner score. You have to make sure you allow that runner to score, because if you get caught in a rundown and you're tagged out before the runner even scores, it's a problem. It's a problem. But then Joey Gallo, shaky. He gets the out to end the game. Chapman hasn't pitched in seven days, so it was nice to get Chapman some work to get his save. I think his 7th save on the season. He is 7 for 7 when it comes to saves, so I'm pretty happy. Hopefully tonight when we go against the Toronto Blue Jays, we shake off that rust. And our offense comes out swinging. Let me just check tonight who is the starting pitchers. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Apologies, it was here, but then it started loading up. All right. So tonight you got Cacucci versus Luis Severino. Now Sevy has been solid since coming back off an injury. Luis Severino has been solid coming back off an injury. I don't want to rush him. I don't want him going out there and trying to pitch into the 7th inning. Let Luis Severino make his way back. Give him 5 innings, 6 innings here or there. That's why we got our bullpen. Hopefully tonight we can see a Michael King sighting, so he could shake off his cobwebs and the bad outing he had in his last outing. Hopefully he could get that taste out of his mouth. But players to watch for tonight. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. After having that hot start to the season, he has come back down to earth, but he's still hitting 286 with 7 home runs and 19 RBI. So that that's a bright spot. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is one of the young pieces or the young prizes that MLB baseball has, with his swag, his demeanor, the type of play that Toronto does, especially the young guys when you got Bo Bichette and everybody else that's there. I'm pretty excited with this rivalry that the Blue Jays have with the Yankees. Anthony Rizzo, he's leading our team with 9 home runs, 238, 22 RBIs. His 238 batting average makes you hopefully he could get that up to 260 for the rest of the season. But snapping that 2 for 30 streak that he had, now he's 1 for 1. So hopefully over these next 20 at bats, 30 at bats, he shows improvement from what he was his last prior 20 at bats. And then Aaron Judge, he's leading the Yankees in batting average with a 284 batting average, a 354 on base percentage, and a 608 slugging percentage. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays, he is their highest hitter with a 286 average. He has a 358 on base percentage with a 524 slugging percentage. So him and Judge, the two top hitters for each team, they're up there in the power numbers. You know, Vladimir Guerrero has 19 runs batted in, but Judge has 22. Vladdy has 7 home runs. Judge has 9. You know, so, I mean, Rizzo, my apologies. Rizzo has 22 ribbies and 9 home runs. So it's going to be a nice matchup for tonight. Cacucci, you know, left-handed pitcher. Hopefully, Yankees the righty bombers could put some damage into him. The last time he was pitching against the Yankees, he was shaky. He was very wild, but the Yankees couldn't capitalize on his mistakes, allowing runners to get on base via the base on board. We had so many runners in scoring position, we just couldn't get that key hit with runners in scoring position. But Cacucci's numbers for the season. He has a 1-1 win-loss record. He has an ERA of 4.35. His WHIP is a 1.55, and he has pitched 20 innings this season, 20 innings and 2/3. Now, when you look at Luis Severino has a 2-0 win-loss record. He has a 3.75 ERA. He has a WHIP of 1.29. He's pitched 24 innings flat. He has given up 24 hits, but he has struck out 23. So striking out 23 and 24 innings is almost a strikeout an inning. He has giving up 3 home runs, and he has walked 7. So it's pretty good. Ooh, my guy. Let's see. Justin Bean said Mets are the best New York baseball team. My man, that's your opinion. It's all love here. Just know that, you know. Just know that it's all love. Hey, if there's any time that you want to come on the panel, we can have this little conversation. You know, like I said earlier, and I said yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying, whenever the Yankees are good and the Mets are good in the same city, it just makes the rivalry so much better. My guy DSJ in the chat earlier, Justin said it. Hopefully, we get another Subway Series this year. I'll be pretty excited myself, Justin. Hopefully, you as well will be excited. But hey, I like what I'm seeing from the Mets. The Yankees need to step it up when it comes to signing Aaron Judge and locking him in, because Stevie Cohen's has the bank to sign Aaron Judge. That would be a nightmare scenario, Justin. I'm not going to lie. If Steve Cohen comes out and just offers Aaron Judge the vote, you know, gives Aaron Judge everything that Alex Rodriguez wanted when he was going to sign with the Mets in 2000, when it came to his own PR staff, when it came to his own suite, when it came to his own private jet. I think Steve Cohen has the money to give Judge all of that and some. If he wanted to buy Staten Island just to give to Aaron Judge, I think that possibly could happen. But all jokes aside, Justin, I'm pretty excited with what I'm seeing from the Mets, you know, especially with what they're doing right now without their best pitcher, Jacob deGrom. My favorite player on that team, on the Mets squad, is Dom Smith. I've always been a Dom Smith fan. You know, even the year that he was drafted, when the Mets drafted him, you know, the Yankees got Aaron Judge later on in the first round, but I was really excited and really, you know, fell in love with Dom Smith's his videos from when he was in high school. I really fell in love with it. Dom Smith has a sweet swing. He's a clutch hitter, and the Mets need to figure out how they could get Dominant Smith 500 at-bats for a season so we could see what Dom Smith does in an entire season. No more sample size for Dom Smith. See, DHA, salute, Justin Bean, salute, but the statement is inaccurate and blasphemous. Respectfully. I always love DSJ. Whenever he has a take, he always put respectfully at the end of it so you don't catch no feelings. So respectfully, New York City is a Yankees town. You know, 27 championships, been to the World Series so many times, you know, so many different Hall of Famers. When you got Derek Jeter, when you got Jorge Posada, who should be in the Hall of Fame, when you have Bernie Williams, who should be in the Hall of Fames. You know, I know a lot of people like to downplay what Bernie Williams did for the Yankees, but when you look at Bernie Williams' postseason numbers alone, he's hitting close to 300. He has 21 home runs, and he has 98 RBIs in the postseason. his postseason numbers are on par with all-stars regular season numbers. So Bernie Williams needs to be in the Hall of Fame on his postseason numbers alone. He has over 2,500 hits. He was a Gold Glover. He won a batting title in the 90s during the steroid era. Bernie Williams, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people like to push for Curt Schilling to be in the Hall of Fame because of his postseason numbers. So if there's a campaign for Curt Schilling to be in the Hall of Fame because of his postseason numbers, then I'm starting the campaign that Bernie Williams needs to be in the Hall of Fame because of his postseason numbers. He gets forgotten when you talk about the core four. He should be a member of it should be, instead of a core four, it should be a Fab Five, because Bernie Williams was just as important to those first 4 World Series at the end of the 90s, early 2000s as anybody else. Let's see, DSJ. Bernie Williams definitely needs to be a Hall of Famer. Absolutely, DSJ. Absolutely. So hopefully we could get those t-shirts made, Bernie Williams for the Hall of Fame. Just like I got my Gardens of Knicks podcast t-shirt on. Shout out to my brother Tone Wu and the Garden of Knicks. One of the nicest, dopest Knicks content creators out there. But yeah, this season so far, early season. I know it's early. Let me just go off of the standings again. Hold on, give me 1 second just to get this out there. When you look at the standings right now, the Yankees are 20-8, Minnesota 18-11, and the Angels, they keep on winning. They keep on winning. The Angels are 20-11. You got the Mets, my guy Justin. You got the Mets 20-10. You got the Milwaukee Brewers 19-11, and you got the LA Dodgers 19-8. That NL West postseason race, that NL West division is going to be very interesting this year, because every team in that division is over 500. When you got the Dodgers, who are on top, 19-8, then right underneath them, you got the San Diego Padres, 19-11. Then you got the San Francisco Giants, 17-12. Then you got the Colorado Rockies, my guy. Right when I was about to talk about the Colorado Rockies, I got my guy Agents KWRL saying go Rockies. You got the Rockies 16-3. Then you got the Arizona Diamondbacks 16-14. Now, that entire division is over 500. Will it last for the rest of the season? I'm not too sure. I am not too sure. But if you're a Colorado Rockies fan, if you're an Arizona Diamondbacks fan, you have to be excited. I don't remember the last time the NL West was this good. I remember the NL West being the bottom barrel of Major League Baseball, period, whether it was the National League or the American League. I remember that division being the worst division in all of sports, let alone baseball. Let me put that out there. Back in, I think it was 2006, the Padres, they were able to make the postseason via the wild card. I think winning 70 games, if I'm not mistaken. That's the Padres team that had Jake Peavy. I'm not sure if it was, I think it was 2005. Yes, it was 2005. But hey, this is a different Padres. This is a different NL West, let alone Padres. Let's see. He said Rockies usually crap out on a long road trip right after the All-Star game. Sometimes, but it's weird, because when you have the Rockies, right, and then you put into reality where the Rockies play in Colorado, that higher altitude. When you have that many games off coming out of the All-Star break, it's kind of hard to get back your rhythm, right? So when you put in the conversation that you have the high altitude, you have all those days off, and then you have to worry about your road splits. Normally, when you see a player's stats when he's playing in Colorado, whether you're a batter, you got higher numbers than when you are off the road. So it's kind of hard to get back into rhythm. DJ LeMahieu has been the rarity. He's been the rare case when it comes to home and road splits playing in Colorado. DJ won a batting title with Colorado, and he won a batting title with the Yankees. So I've always been a fan of the bottom tier teams. Yes, I'm a Yankee fan. Yes, it's easy to root for the Yankees, but when you have the Rockies doing good, and this year as well, hold on, let me go back. because I have to finish reading off these standings. But when you go back to the Seattle Mariners, seeing what the Mariners is doing this year. Yes, they're under 500, 13-17, but the Seattle Mariners have a bright future, especially when you look at J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. He had a single yesterday that he turned into a double. I don't know any other major league hitter besides Mike Trout who probably could turn that from a single into a double. Even then, I'm not too sure. Let's see. He said, yeah, bullpen always an issue, too many innings. Yeah, and that's the thing. Your bullpen gets taxed when your starting pitchers aren't built to pitch in, Colorado. One of the best pitchers that you had was Ubaldo Jimenez, but Ubaldo Jimenez, he had 2 good seasons, and then after that, I'm not sure what happened. He got injured and just never came back and was the same after his injury. But he had the stuff. You could get away with pitching in Colorado when you got a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, when you got a fastball that could break 100, when you got a breaking ball that's that filthy like Ubaldo Jimenez has. Ubaldo Jimenez was a phenomenal pitcher. He probably had one of the best streaks when it comes to consecutive starts. You could put that up with CC Sabathia when he showed up in Milwaukee and had that dominance. And 15 games, I think he was 11-2 in those 15 games that he pitched with Milwaukee. But CC Sabathia was phenomenal when he got to Milwaukee, and that's what you need. The Rockies just need to focus on. They're gonna always have offense. You could get somebody who hits 220, but who could pop out 30 to 40 home runs in Colorado alone, just because he's hitting in that humidor that's Rockies field. But let's see, he says, oh yeah, I read, yeah. After the All-Star game, yeah. But it goes back to pitching. It has to be an organizational thing. They have to see what the Yankees did when it comes to their minor leagues developing bullpen arms, taking pitchers, and that's the thing with the Yankees. When you have the money to spend, like the Yankees have the money to spend, that's how you see them in the first round taking chances on certain pitchers. But within these past few drafts, they've taken position players, specifically shortstops and catchers. You got Anthony Volpe, who I think is going to be the next best thing in baseball. The Yankees took Anthony Sigler a few years ago, but he hasn't panned out. He's been injured. Guy's been injured too many times. So, the Rockies, they just need to do it slowly, little by little, organizational thing, worry and focus on starting pitching. If you can, try to get pitchers coming out of high school, offer them big money, take them in the first round, second round, throw the big money at them, when they come to Colorado, but hey, that's what it is. But we're coming up on that time. It is 11:44, about to be 11:45, probably go for another minute. But hey, we got tonight's game versus the Toronto Raptors. Focus back on the Yankees. With tonight's game against the Toronto Blue Jays, Raptors, still worried about basketball. With tonight's game against the Blue Jays, the Yankees offense has to be aggressive. I need to see a hit from Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks needs to show up today. If not, I'm not too sure what the Yankees are going to do with their center field position, but Aaron Hicks has to show up today. Normally, the lineups don't go out to about like 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. we'll be able to see what the lineup is. We got DSJ. If they're still pushing for Paul O'Neill to still be in the Hall of Fame, then Bernie should be a no-brainer. Absolutely, bro. Bernie Williams needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to say this one more time. You got people campaigning that Curt Schilling gets into the Hall of Fame because of his postseason numbers. Let's start this right now. On the Yankees Morning Brew, the campaign to get Bernie Williams into the Hall of Fame solely based on his postseason numbers. Bernie Williams is a 300 hitter, close to 3. I think it's 298 in the postseason. He has over 20 home runs with 21 home runs, and he has 96 RBIs. His postseason numbers are on par with an All-Stars regular season numbers. He has a batting title. In the 90s, when he was in the 90s, he was well over 300 when it comes to batting average. Every season in the 90s, minus 2 seasons that he played, he hit over 300. He's a Gold Glover as well. He probably didn't have the best arm, but he had the range. I remember back in 2005, when he threw out Carl Crawford trying to go from first to second, and everyone lost their mind. If Twitter was around back then, it would have went viral. But yeah, man, let's start that campaign. Hashtag Bernie for the Hall of Fame. That needs to happen, whether he's voted in, whether he's written in, however it happens. Bernie Williams needs to be in the Hall of Fame. A couple notes as well. This year, the Field of Game Dreams will happen. It will be going on this year. It was scheduled between the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. There was a bit rumblings last week that it was not going to happen, but it was confirmed last night. Ken Rosenthal tweeted it out that the Field of Dream games will happen this year. The Cincinnati Reds versus the Chicago Cubs. So if you're able to make it down there, one of these days, hopefully they keep this going every year and I'm able to make it down there myself. But if you're able to make it down, please take your kids, get down to the Field of Dream games. This is something that's going, and it should get the younger audience involved. When you have different gimmicks like this, it needs to happen. Whether next year they pick it up that, you got baseball teams playing stickball tournaments during the All-Star game. Something needs to happen where we need to bring in that youth. We need to bring in that young audience. We have too many old men yelling from the porch because players are doing bat flips or players are showing their character or their emotions. Let them be kids. Let Ronald Acuna be Ronald Acuna. Let Julio Rodriguez be Julio Rodriguez. Let Carlos Gomez be Carlos Gomez. If you guys remember Carlos Gomez, how he used to be, and people used to get upset at him and throw at him, and let them be how they are. Before, I didn't like how Carlos Gomez played the game, but at this late stage of my life, and I reflect back on it, no, he was just being himself. He just had the energy. So let the kids be the kids. And guys, I think that's going to be enough for today. 11:47. Make sure you tune in tonight. Yankees versus Blue Jays. We will be back here tomorrow. Hopefully, the technical difficulties will be figured out. But my apologies for the computer freezing on me earlier, my guys. And like always, peace, love, and deuces.